Hello there. So I've been putting my ideas together into some resources now for my new book, Guide to Questioning. Let me just put this full size for you. So the idea here, and it's probably more exclusively for secondary schools, but I suppose it could be translated into Key Stage 2, so the top end of primary school. Now you can choose any questioning strategies, but the notion here is that to develop a questioning culture in your classroom or across all classrooms across the organization, everybody introduces at the start of the year mini whiteboards, just as an example. It doesn't have to be that strategy. This is just the one that I've selected. And I've actually carefully thought about these techniques. So you could use these as a guide, but this is just an example. So mini whiteboards, get confidence, get all students showing their responses to your questions in class to seek a higher response to check for understanding. Do that day in, day out, all through September. October, then the importance of think, pair, share. Well, think, pair, share, what is the second planet in the solar system from the sun? I don't know if you're thinking about that question. So the think, pair with your friend, talk about it, write it down. Now show me on your mini whiteboard brings these two strategies together. Then in November, we introduce wait time. So we're trying to build up some confidence. We're trying to help develop self-regulation. So a little bit of metacognitive thinking where we process what the teacher has been said. We stop ourselves from calling out. And we follow Mary Budd's brilliant research from 1972. We should wait 3 to 5 seconds to give students that time to process. So name the 4 gas giants in the solar system. Because I've given you time to think about that. Think, pair, share, off you go. Show me that you have thought about it, write it down, show me on your whiteboard. Then we go into December, and we've also got the funnel question strategy. Well, that's where the questions get a bit more specific and more closed, more narrow, more difficult, more high-ended, I suppose. December, we've built relationships. We then introduce cold call techniques. I think cold call's a fantastic strategy. Holding students to account, making sure they're all thinking, making sure they're all ready. The no opt-out strategy too. Well, if you get it wrong, I'm going to come back to you. And then I'll use the wait time, the funnel time strategies, the think, pair, share, phone a friend. Now show me on your mini whiteboard. This January, we might want to introduce some quizzing software. Now, I know this might be too late in the academic year. You're paying a lot of money for all these different tools. So you might want to be just doing this along that bottom line, this regular low-stake retrieval practice quizzing that your students are doing in class on devices or through whatever technology they may have available at home. February, my favorite question strategy. I've written about this for a long, long time. Pose, pause, pounce, bounce. It's very similar to the kind of cold call, no opt-out strategy. It brings all these things together. The Socratic questioning methods, the explain evidence, EEAA example, the question matrix. There's lots more here. So this will just whet your appetite. This is just one of many, many new resources that I'm building from my research into questioning. And the reason I've done it this way is, X number of years in teaching, workload, well-being, master your curriculum, master your behavior, master your subject knowledge. And then I've produced this book called Guide to Memory, where I actually think, that should have come first. And once I've got all these things in place and we know everything's intertwined and we develop all these pieces of wisdom throughout our teaching career, once we're on our feet and we can then use a range of question strategies as part of our teacher DNA to a point of automaticity, then that's going to reduce our workload and increase our efficiency by holding all our students to account and allowing us to check for understanding on a micro by microsecond basis. So there's lots more, but and there's loads of resources to unpick each of these little boxes. But I thought that would be a nice resource. You can get that on my website. It obviously be included as a resource inside my book when that is published. There's a blank template and there's a blank template with no colors. So easy to do. You'll see me producing these type of things, thinking about school strategy and how these things will be embedded for leaders across a large organization, whether you've got 7 teachers or 117. So I hope you like it. Hashtag guide to questioning. Bye for now.